This is the first project to start the Home Assistant project. The device I will use in this project is Raspberry Pi 4. In my opinion, this is the easiest and fastest way to build a Home Assistant server. The device in my hand is a device equipped with ESP32S3 and RP2040 MCU. From this, we can get data on CO2 as well as temperature, humidity, and indoor air quality. Since it is a high-quality device, it seems that it can be used for indoor use without any special additions. Right now, this device is connected to the HA server, sending and receiving data via MQTT, and doing bidirectional updates. As you can see, it's working very well. What I'm trying to do is to connect sensors connected to microcontrollers around us with HA and also control everything through HA. Because of the many add-ons and services that support HA, the way I see it, we can create our own great HA system. In this video, I'm going to start by installing Home Assistant OS on Raspberry Pi. If you already have an HA environment, I don't think this video will be of much help to you. So, I recommend that you skip this video. The next video will cover this 4-inch device. Here is my Raspberry Pi 4 8GB model. There are many devices that can configure Home Assistant for your home. You can use Linux by installing it on an old computer, or you can use Docker to configure your environment on your computer. Personally, I recommend the Raspberry Pi. Because this system is constantly on, minimizing power consumption helps your electricity bill. Unfortunately, my Raspberry Pi 02W doesn't seem a suitable device for this. So I'm going to configure Home Assistant with Raspberry Pi 4. Let's install Home Assistant OS on the SD card. You can easily install HA OS to your SD card from Raspberry Pi Imager. It is downloaded online and takes about 3 minutes. According to their installation method, it says a 32 GB or bigger card is recommended. Home Assistant OS has been installed from the SD card. Now, if you insert this into the Raspberry Pi and boot it up, the Home Assistant server will work. As you can see, it's very easy to start Home Assistant. Home Assistant recommends an Ethernet connection. Let's get started with the way they recommend. After about 1 minute, you can access the HA server from other devices. Since it's connected via Ethernet, your router will assign the Raspberry Pi a local IP address and at the same time make it accessible as a Home Assistant instead of the IP address. The default port number for HA is 8123. Just do the basic settings. Set your country here. Also set currency. If you press the detect button here, approximate location information based on IP is found and displayed on the map. Perhaps this is necessary to obtain weather information. The basic setup is completed. Nothing is installed. Just weather information is displayed by default because it's connected to the internet and has my approximate location. Now we need to install the necessary add-ons. First is the file editor. That allows you to open and edit files inside the HA server. I think this is almost a must-have add-on. After installation, click Start to run it. So now it's ready to use. You can turn on the file editor with the Open Web UI button there. Next is Mosquito Broker installation. This is necessary for communication with microcontrollers to be connected in the future. Installed. Again, click the Start button to start it right away. Mosquito Broker is now running on the HA server. The thing to do is to configure the running MQTT service so that the HA server can connect to it. You do this by pressing MQTT's Configure button. The HA server can now connect with MQTT to send and receive data. This is the basic setting for external device connection. My HA server is ready to connect to other devices. From now on, I will do some settings so that it can communicate with the device I used in the demo. This is for my device, so you don't have to follow it if you don't have it. Open the configuration.yaml file via the file editor. It's to modify the configuration.yaml file to add the indicator entity. This file is used by Home Assistant to keep track of the various entities in your setup. This is the MQTT configuration because all data is sent and received through MQTT. Since we modified the configuration.yaml file, we need to make HA read it again. If you select the developer menu on the left menu, you can find the YAML configuration reloading item. Create a new dashboard to display the data obtained from the device. In Settings, select Dashboards. There are 2 dashboards already set up by default. Create a new dashboard here. Set the name and icon and click the Create button. The dashboard I just created is shown in the left sidebar. But the UI does not perfectly match the device to be used in the future. I will also modify the UI code so that it can be output in the desired UI. Let's select the raw configuration editor here. This UI code is also already ready. Just copy and paste. All links can be found in the video description. More detail has been added than the previous dashboard. The last thing we need to do is to add the user. The reason this is needed is to access the MQTT server from the microcontrollers. You cannot send or receive any data without MQTT client credentials. With this user's username and password, the microcontroller can connect to the HA server to send and receive data. These were the basic settings to connect from the microcontroller to the HA server. In order to connect a device other than a microcontroller, appropriate settings are required. I'll talk about that in other projects. In this video, I tried to configure a project to start Home Assistant. I hope this helped you get started on your project. Today's video ends here. Thank you for watching. See you on the next project.